Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a subject that a lot of people are curious about, but few truly understand. Why some married women seek attention outside their marriage. And to make this conversation even more enriching, we're weaving in the wisdom of Stoicism to really get to the core of human behavior. So settle in, grab a coffee or whatever you like, because this is going to be an eye-opening ride. Now first off, let's just be clear. This is not about judgment. It's not about blaming or shaming. It's about understanding. When you get to the root of why something happens, you get power over it. You get clarity. And when you have clarity, you can make better decisions, whether you're married, dating, or just trying to understand human nature. At the heart of every human being, there is a need to feel seen, valued, and appreciated. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, that desire runs deep. And when someone gets married, they often believe that this need will naturally be met by their spouse. In the beginning, it usually is. The excitement, the attention, the small gestures, the daily affirmations, they're all there. But as time goes on, life starts to get in the way. Kids, careers, stress, health issues, aging parents, the list goes on. And sometimes partners begin to take each other for granted. It's not always intentional, it's just life. People get busy. They assume that their love is understood and doesn't need to be constantly demonstrated. But for many women, feeling emotionally connected is not a one-and-done thing. It's ongoing. It's like watering a plant. You can't just water it once and expect it to thrive forever. When that emotional connection starts to dry up, some women find themselves looking elsewhere, not necessarily for an affair, not even for something physical, but for validation, for a feeling that they are still seen, still valued, still vibrant. Sometimes it's innocent, a harmless conversation, a compliment from a stranger, a little extra attention at the gym or at work. Sometimes it can spiral into something more serious. Here's where Stoicism comes into play. According to Stoic philosophy, we are only responsible for our own actions and our own virtues. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman's thoughts are constantly colored with feeling unseen or unimportant, that begins to affect her soul, her sense of self. Stoicism teaches that external validation is fleeting, unreliable. True strength comes from within. But when someone's inner world is wounded or starving, it becomes very difficult to live by those ideals. And let's be honest, modern culture doesn't make it any easier. We live in a world saturated with social media, with constant comparisons, with endless opportunities for attention, likes, comments, DMs, followers. It's a dopamine playground. And if someone feels a drought of appreciation at home, it can feel almost effortless to find a little spark elsewhere. It doesn't even require leaving the house. Attention is just a few taps away. But this doesn't mean that the marriage is doomed or that the woman is fundamentally disloyal. Often it's a symptom, not the disease. It's a red flag waving, trying to signal something needs care. If you look at this through a Stoic lens, you'll see that the focus isn't on controlling your spouse or expecting them to fill your every need. It's on tending to your own character, your own expectations, your own resilience. And for women who find themselves seeking outside attention, the Stoic approach would encourage them to turn inward and ask, "What am I seeking? And why do I believe it must come from outside of me?" At the same time, for men, and partners in general, there's a lesson too. Marriage, or any committed relationship, is not a box you check and forget about. It's a living, breathing thing. It requires presence, attention, nurturing, not out of obligation, but out of genuine care. There's a saying in Stoicism, amor fati, love of fate. Love what happens, accept it, and work with it. If you find that your relationship has cracks in it, love the opportunity to mend it. Love the chance to become better, stronger, wiser. Many people misunderstand Stoicism as being emotionless, cold, detached. But true Stoicism is about managing destructive emotions so that you can act from a place of wisdom, not impulse. It's about seeing clearly, acting virtuously, and maintaining inner peace no matter what storms rage around you. So if a married woman is seeking attention outside her marriage, it's not because she's evil or broken. It's because something is missing, something essential, and the real work, the real opportunity is to face that void head on, to have the hard conversations, to reconnect, to rebuild not just the romance, but the friendship, the admiration, the respect. And for the women who find themselves pulled by that outside attention, the invitation is to pause and reflect. Are you seeking something that you can actually cultivate within yourself? Can you reconnect with your own worth, your own power, your own sense of being seen, first by yourself, before anyone else? The truth is, no amount of compliments, flirty, DMs or admiring glances will fill an internal emptiness. It's like trying to quench thirst with salt water. It might feel good for a moment, but it only leaves you more parched. The Stoics taught that true contentment doesn't come from what others think of you. It comes from living in accordance with your values, your virtue, your reason. It comes from self-respect, from integrity, from knowing that you are enough with or without applause. But let's also be real. Humans are social creatures. We do thrive on connection, on feeling appreciated, on being acknowledged. Stoicism doesn't deny this. It just reminds us not to make our happiness dependent on it. And if you're a man watching this, thinking, how do I make sure my wife never feels the need to seek attention elsewhere? The answer is simple, but not always easy. Stay present. Stay curious. Keep noticing her. Keep valuing her. Not just for what she does, cooking meals, raising kids, managing a household, but for who she is. Her spirit, her mind, her humor, her heart. People don't drift apart all at once. It happens slowly, quietly, day by day. But the good news is people can also drift back together, with intention, with effort, with love. And for women, if you feel yourself hungering for attention, don't shame yourself. But don't give that power away either. Use it as a signal to reconnect with yourself, to water your own soul, to nourish your own sense of worthiness. Because when you are rooted in your own value, outside attention becomes a cherry on top, not the whole sundae. Remember what Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." The adversity you're feeling, whether it's loneliness, frustration, or longing, it's an invitation to grow stronger, to reconnect with what truly matters. In the end, the truth behind why some married women seek outside attention isn't scandalous. It's deeply human. It's about needs, emotions, connection, and sometimes a little neglect. But with awareness, courage, and the wisdom of Stoicism, it can also be a path back to something even stronger than before. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you found this conversation valuable, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives like this and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. See you in the next one.